like I always say to my guys, like everybody, there is levels. There is fighters, there is champion, there is elite, and I think Islam is elite. This is what I think. This is what I feel when I train with him long time.
Islam Makhachev comes from Dagestan, trained with Khabib. Nurmagomedov, Khabib's father. He has trained Islam since he was a little kid. So a lot of people talk about Islam being the new coming of Khabib, the Khabib 2.0. And it's easy to see why. They have very similar styles.
I would disagree. I think stylistically they're definitely not the same. Both great fighters, just stylistically they don't do the same things. You'll see Khabib shoot like 5 to 7 times in a round just to make sure somebody gets tired, while Islam will be so accurate with his feints and striking, and then we'll get that one shot, and that one shot will put you, and then he'll be able to hold you. So they're not that similar in my opinion. They have similar techniques and they have similar goals, but the route they take is not similar. So I guess you could say they're similar in that they want to do the same thing, but they don't take the same route.
And when you look at the records of Khabib Nurmagomedov, you see the dominance displayed, right? Longest win streak in his weight class history, most title fight wins in history. He controls people at a rate, and just they don't even seem like they should be in there with Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Right.
But what is very familiar, when you watch Islam compete, you see a lot of the same traits and qualities.
Because he is a real deal. You know how many like bums we see, they all the time call someone and all media talk about them, but Islam is a real deal. He's one of the best in the world, you know, and I believe he's top 10 in pound for pound right now, you know. And but Islam a little bit quiet, he don't like too much talk, you know, like, but me and DC, we always try to push him.
Are they similar? Absolutely. Are they brothers and teammates? Yes, absolutely. But I mean, what Khabib has accomplished, it wasn't Khabib's skill set. It was the mystique that surrounded Khabib's accomplishments inside the sport. Undefeated and making every superhuman guy inside the division look like a mere mortal. I wouldn't say that he's the next best thing whatsoever. I do think he is very good. I do think he is. Obviously, the way he dispatched Dan Hooker in the first round solidifies himself as a top guy. But when you start comparing those two, he's just not there yet.
Islam is a much more natural striker in regards to fighting on the feet than Khabib was before. Khabib was more traditional wrestler, get you to the ground and grind you out. Whereas Islam can stand and strike.
Without camera, I know me and Islam, we have same goal, same like strategy, same good grappling, wrestling, striking. Like we good everywhere because we was training together like since 2000, like more than 20 years we training together, you know. And I know, and all people who training with Islam, they know how good Islam.
I've never encountered a 55-pounder as tough as this motherfucker, other than Khabib himself. I've been training with Islam. I remember I trained with Islam, used him as a sparring partner back when I fought Machida. And he came in like the later rounds and I didn't really respect him and we got caught on the wall. At one point, Islam just head and armed me. Little 55-pounder threw me feet overhead, landed on my head. I had to get back up and I learned I have to respect a 155-pounder like I never have. Islam is a gangster. He deserves every bit of the hype. And he's about to be your next champ. I don't see anybody stopping him.
I've trained with Khabib and Islam and all those guys. I've never been able to defend it. And I've defended all of Koscheck and Fitch, and I've managed to, at certain times, defend against all those takedowns. These guys, Islam's and Khabib's, you can't defend against that.
You ever watch someone fight and they win all the time and you see someone come up and you're like, well, I think maybe this guy will give him a problem, or maybe this guy will give him a problem here. And then they go in and they just dominate. And Islam is that guy for me, because for whatever reason, I watch the tape, I watch the film, I break him down, just technique by technique. He's one of those guys that he's not very flashy. There's no flair. There's nothing, like he doesn't go outside of the box too much. He is just basic fundamentals. And when we're coaching or when I'm in the gym and you got guys that are there, they skip all the fundamental shit like we talk about with Johnny Walker, where they want to do flying knees and spinning kicks and all this crazy shit, and you want them to you want to slow them down and say, you got to get these fundamentals right first. Islam is who you need to show them. Like, he just does the small things right, and you hear people talk about how goddamn strong he is, but that's just positional awareness. He puts his weight in the right spots, and he doesn't give any opportunities. Like, he gives no space. He gives no openings. Like, you can do everything right and Islam will still beat you because he just is technically proficient on the top and he's very slow. He's very patient. He just gives no opportunities to make mistakes.
We grapple together like all our life, and I see how Islam go with a lot of ADCC level guys, even with ADCC champions. They tap when they grapple with Islam. I see 88 kilo, 99 kilo, 77 kilo. I don't want to say name, but they tap ADCC world champion, you know.
We've always said for years, like, because everyone's like, who can beat Khabib? You know, who can match Khabib? And everyone's expecting us to say a UFC fighter in this division, or number 2 competitor, or number 2 ranked fighter, number 3 ranked fighter. We've always said Islam. If there's anyone that could possibly beat Khabib or put up a great match or catch him or something, we always felt it was going to be Islam. And so now Islam's got his chance to go out there and prove exactly why.
I think it's fair to say, on the feet, he's a bigger threat than Khabib was. Khabib was, you know, he was effective. He had a good jab in that fight with Ali Kinta. You know, he really displayed a fantastic jab. And Khabib's striking was always good enough for him to set up the shot, for him to get the fight to the ground. So he wasn't a Conor McGregor on the feet or anybody like that, but he was capable, he was competent, and he was just good enough to get the fight to where he wanted. Use those hands to set up the shots or whatever it may be, you know. I think Islam is a better striker, you know. Javier Mendez said it himself. He said we can choose our poison. When you see Islam, he throws a lot of nice head kicks. They're very, very fluid. He has a lot of overhand rights. He has good head movement. He's slick. He's very, very slick. He's got good submissions, good wrestling, very well rounded.
And of course, Islam is very good on stand-up. Last couple years, people don't even touch him. They don't even touch him. And he fight with Drew Dober. He fight with all these guys. They good strikers, you know. They don't even touch him, you know, like even 1 time, 2 times, you know. Islam dominating them, all of them.
I haven't seen anyone really pressure him, and it could be because they couldn't. They weren't well-rounded enough, because if you try to pressure him standing, he takes you down. If you try to, you know, apply some jiu-jitsu, his wrestling's so good he doesn't allow you. So from what I've seen, they haven't been able to put pressure on him because they don't have enough skills, the well-roundedness required to do that, and I think I'm the guy to do that.
Islam is possibly the best grappler, one of the best grapplers I've seen. Like, oh my god, that pressure on top. He doesn't really punch, just the pressure. You see what he does with his like shoulders and his hips, and like transferring his weight one side to the other. Honest to God, phenomenal.
Islam is a guy that's definitely in the talks now. Everybody knows who he is now that he's beat somebody inside the top 10. He's surging. He's got the power of Khabib behind him. He's got a whole country behind him. The UFC knows that. He knows that. He fights like that, and he's done nothing but great things thus far, and he's looked very great.
And we're gonna come to Brazil. Islam gonna ride Charles Oliveira like his horse. We're gonna take this belt. We're gonna show them, if Sambo was easy, it would be called jiu-jitsu, and we're gonna go home with the belt, you know, with UFC lightweight belt. And I believe last 10 years, UFC lightweight belt, its location, this is Dagestan. Me, now I'm finished, now Islam. Last 10 years, no Ireland, no USA, no Brazil, not other place, no Europe. This is place in Dagestan, right? Last 10 years. It was me, now become Islam.